Hey guys. So, first thing we want to do is just say congratulations on finishing the benchmark. We are so proud with the effort that you guys put in from start to finish. You really tried your very hardest with your multiple choice and all the way through the essay question. And we saw a lot of improvement from our MLQ. So, we're really looking forward to the rest of the year and seeing more improvement each time. But for today, we're going to go ahead and take another lesson. We are going to be learning about theme today. So go ahead and copy down your objective on your guided practice worksheet that was handed out to you. The objective is I can identify theme in a fiction passage. Since we only have one day of classwork this week, we're not going to continue with The Giver. Instead, we're going to read an excerpt from the book called The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, which is actually the book that you're going to be reading next year in 8th grade. It's a great book, and I hope you like the excerpt. So this is a picture from The Absolutely True Diary. It's about a boy who lives on a Native American reservation in the southwest United States who decides to go to a better high school, which is 22 miles away, and it's basically an all-white high school. And so he has to deal with leaving his friends and his family back on the reservation, sort of the betrayal that goes along with that. So we're going to be reading a short excerpt today about the main character, Junior, and he's playing in his basketball game. But before we do that, we do want to go over what theme is. So go ahead and copy the definition of theme down on your guided practice worksheet. Theme is the universal lesson learned from the passage. Now the key here is that it's a universal lesson. This means that absolutely anybody can learn from this lesson. It's not something it's not something that's going to be specific to the text. So for instance, in The Giver, we wouldn't say that Jonas learns to not always follow the rules of the receiver because sometimes you need to think for yourself. The theme would be you always need to think for yourself. You take the part that is specific to the book out of the question. We're going to practice doing that in just a minute. Also write down the 3 steps to identifying the theme. The first step is identifying the conflict. So what's going on in the story? What's the problem? Number 2, what lesson does the character learn from the problem? So that would be the problem is going to be specific to the book. And after that, that's when you identify the theme, the universal lesson being learned. So to go over these steps for the theme, we're going to think back to the story of Pandora's box, which we covered extensively at the beginning of the year. So, in Pandora's box, if you remember, Pandora was told by Zeus not to open the box under any circumstances, but she was so curious. Finally, she couldn't stand it anymore, and she opened the box. And what came out? All of the evils of the world came out. You could say that Pandora learns that she should not open the box until Zeus tells her so, or else evil will come out. That is a lesson that Pandora learns, right? But is that the theme? No, it is not the theme because it's specific to Pandora. Pandora should never open a box again without asking. You might not necessarily be able to learn from that because A, you're not Pandora, and B, there's more to learn from this story than just about not opening a box. So take another look and let's see, what could the theme be? We could say that the theme is curiosity killed the cat, too much curiosity can lead to many problems, things like that. This is a lesson that is not specific to the text and is universal, meaning that anybody in any place in the world can learn that being curious can sometimes lead to problems. So our theme is universal here. Yes. So guys, today, remember that we are reading an excerpt from Absolutely True Diary. You have your guided practice sheet in front of you. We're going to read this excerpt and then answer the discussion questions before moving on to multiple choices or prove it. Let's get started.